Do you believe that right now, in a dusty, forgotten corner, tucked away behind the rotting door of an ordinary rural home somewhere in the American Midwest, rests the colossal skeleton of an ancient king, towering nearly 9 feet tall, not beneath the magnificent pyramids of Egypt, not deep within the mysterious jungles of South America, but right here, on this familiar soil, beneath our very feet? America, the cradle of liberty and dreams, was once ruled by giants. And the story of how we uncovered them, only to self-destructively squander and lose those invaluable pieces of evidence in the agonizing hunger of the Great Depression, remains one of the darkest and most heartbreaking mysteries, a deep scar etched into the annals of American history. Today, we will collectively reopen the file on a magnificent empire that vanished into oblivion, where human greed and the indifferent fury of nature buried a shocking truth, an irreplaceable legacy. Please, do not look away, for what you are about to hear will fundamentally transform your perception of the heritage of the very land upon which we stand. Welcome, then, to the Spiro Mounds archaeological site, nestled serenely beneath the vast, expansive skies of Oklahoma. Standing here, amidst these imposing earthen mounds that rise like petrified waves of time in an endless ocean of green prairie grass, we are gazing upon far more than mere grassy hills. These are the sacred ruins, the vibrant, beating heart of an elite stronghold, where the Mississippian culture once flourished in brilliant splendor. In the distance lie the remnants of the mighty Craig Mound, a treasure trove that once held thousands of priceless, exquisite artifacts, from intricately carved stone effigies imbued with the spirits of ancestors, and exquisitely etched conch shells, narrating ancient myths, to lustrous copperwork glinting like captured sunlight, and finely woven textiles bearing the marks of a bygone golden age. But what truly haunts the minds of history enthusiasts, igniting a fervent spark of curiosity, transcends mere artistry or material wealth. This land whispers authentic accounts, astonishing tales of giant skeletons, undeniable testaments to a race that once walked among us. What truly lies beneath that dark earth, patiently awaiting rediscovery? Let your mind journey back to the tumultuous 1930s. Our nation was plunged into the crushing depths of the Great Depression, a chasm of abject destitution. Extreme poverty and profound despair gripped isolated rural areas, where hope itself seemed an unaffordable luxury. In this very place, a group of men from Arkansas and Oklahoma, hardened by toil and desperation, formed the Popular Mining Company. You must understand, these were not erudite archaeologists driven by a scholarly mission to preserve heritage. These were fathers, grandfathers, locked in a frantic scramble for survival, desperately seeking to earn meager scraps of food and a few pennies to keep their families from succumbing to the biting cold during America's most harrowing era. They descended upon Craig Mound, armed with crude pickaxes, blasting powder, and a desperation that clouded their judgment, digging with chaotic, brutal abandon. The majestic mound, standing 33 feet high and stretching 350 feet long, a monument to millennia of human endeavor, was mercilessly desecrated. Thousands of invaluable artifacts were ripped from the earth and sold for a pittance, merely to sustain life. The sheer volume of treasure was so immense that contemporary newspapers dubbed the area the King Tutankhamun of the Arkansas Valley, a comparison both honoring its richness and poignantly lamenting its destruction. Yet, amidst that wreckage of blind greed and ultimate despair, the Times Herald-Journal, Times newspaper, on the 26th of November 1934, recorded a discovery that sent shockwaves through the entire region, filling residents with a mixture of awe and fear. They reported the finding of a colossal femur, an irrefutable piece of evidence indicating its owner must have stood an astonishing 9 feet tall, nearly double the height of an average man. The report further described a gargantuan jawbone, wide enough to encompass an entire adult human face, a sight both chilling and majestically powerful. The miner who unearthed it recounted the discovery with stark clarity, his eyes still haunted by the memory, explaining that the skeleton was fractured into many pieces, and they had to painstakingly reassemble it, bone by bone, like a gruesome jigsaw puzzle. The legacy of these giants didn't end there. Another report, equally astounding, chronicled the discovery of an 8.5-foot tall skeleton, found cremated and blackened, a potent sign of extreme reverence. Upon the chest of this unknown warrior lay 7 large bows, 40 exquisitely crafted war arrows, and 8-inch spear points, a solemn, powerful, and mysterious burial scene, conjuring the image of a formidable chieftain who once reigned supreme. So, what became of this great warrior, of these giant remains? Please hold that question in your mind, for the fate of this priceless historical artifact will appall and sadden anyone who cherishes America's heritage, evoking an unspeakable sense of regret. Moving away from the regrettable chaos of Craig Mound, let us step onto the nearby Brown Mound, a place of an entirely different significance. This was not a sepulchre of material wealth, but the most sacred center, the spiritual heart of the entire civilization. It was here that the first sacred fire once blazed brilliantly, illuminating the serene, ancient Oklahoma sky, carrying with it faith and hope. Imagine an indigenous belief system intricately calculated and perfectly aligned with the vast cosmos, where everything held profound, sacred meaning. On the summer or winter solstices, those fleeting moments when the universe seemed to crack open a mysterious door, the sun would set in astonishingly precise alignment with the mounds, like a whisper from the stars. For 3 days, as the sun appeared to stand still at the same point on the horizon, the supreme chieftain of Spiro would seclude himself within the temple atop the mound, completely isolated from the outside world. Without food, without water, without sleep, he fasted in darkness, listening for the echoes of the universe. When the sacred moment concluded and he emerged into the light, he carried the message of the sun god, determining the fate of the harvest and the future of a vast confederacy, sowing hope into the hearts of his people. If we consider the colossal Cahokia site in Illinois as the bustling, vibrant New York City of antiquity, a hub of thriving trade and dense population, then Spiro was their Washington, D.C., the epicenter of power, where pivotal decisions were made, shaping the destiny of an entire empire. Spiro may not have been the most populous city, but its influence was the greatest, the most far-reaching. It was home to the only pre-Columbian writing system found in the Americas, an undeniable testament to advanced intellectual prowess and remarkable development. Spiro served as the central coordinator of political, economic, and religious power, solidifying the strength of a confederation that controlled fully 2/3 of the eastern United States. Symbolic images such as hawks soaring through the sky, mighty jaguars prowling the wilderness, mysterious winding serpents, and powerful spiders weaving their webs, meticulously carved onto conch shells, were not merely art. They constituted a shared language, a powerful code to transmit invisible authority. That power transcended all borders, influencing millions of lives, from the most distant tribes to the neighboring settlements. So, what connection does that magnificent power structure hold to the giant skeletons we are discussing? Let us return to the 8.5-foot tall, cremated warrior, a symbol of profound reverence and authority. When exhumed from the cold earth, the miners were far too busy categorizing artifacts that could be immediately converted into cash. They had no time for a mere skeleton, no matter how colossal. This priceless relic, a unique piece of human history, was unceremoniously discarded in a tattered canvas tent, left to the mercy of wind, rain, and the relentless march of time. A few curious locals came to gawk, marveling at its immense size, their whispers filled with awe. But tragically, no museum or archaeologist from the major cities, those ostensibly tasked with protecting heritage, cared enough to make the arduous journey to safeguard it. Weeks later, to make room for more valuable antiquities, The skeleton was pushed out into an open field behind the tent, abandoned to the eroding wind and the scorching sun and drenching rain. And then it vanished completely, without a trace, without a sound. An irreplaceable artifact of humanity, a historical enigma, evaporated in the face of profound indifference, caught in the vortex of poverty and avarice. Perhaps now those grand bones lie gathering anonymous dust in some forgotten attic, or are forever buried beneath the unfeeling soil of this rural region. Human selfishness and short-sightedness eternally erased a priceless piece of history, a heartbreaking reminder of what we have lost. But what is the scientific truth behind the giants of Spiro? Did some divine race once walk this earth, endowed with supernatural powers? From a historical and biological perspective, a more grounded, profoundly human narrative emerges, stripping away the layers of mysticism. Their greatness did not stem from miraculous magic or divine intervention. You must know that, at that time, the average height for men worldwide was only about 5 feet 6 inches, approximately 1.68 meters. At Spiro, the populace enjoyed a slightly better physique, thanks to a superior diet. The appearance of individuals mutated to 6, 7, or even over 8 feet tall is a perfectly real biological genetic phenomenon observed in all societies, known as gigantism. In a civilization that revered physical strength and imposing figures, these colossal individuals would undoubtedly have been elevated to the elite ranks, becoming chieftains, shamans, or symbolic diplomats, perceived as conduits to the spirit world. Yet, the price of that greatness was profound physical pain, a silent internal struggle. Standing at the apex of power, these giants rarely lived long lives. Their oversized bodies exerted tremendous pressure on their cardiovascular systems, weakening internal organs and ravaging their joints with relentless, chronic arthritic pain. More tragically, in the rudimentary medical conditions of antiquity, children born with the genes for gigantism often had extremely high mortality rates in their early years. All their body's energy was channeled into abnormally rapid vertical growth, rendering their immune systems fragile and unable to resist common parasites and infectious diseases. While they wore the aura of gods who ruled the earth, wielding supreme power, deep within, they bore the agonizing pain of mere mortals grappling with their own bodies, a poignant tragedy woven into the very fabric of their extraordinary lives. And what of the fanciful tales suggesting that Northmen, Vikings, crossed the ocean, ventured deep inland, and built this civilization? History unequivocally answers, no, there is absolutely no evidence. Spiro and its vast network controlled a region with millions of permanent inhabitants, a force not to be underestimated. No European Viking group, however valiant, could have penetrated deep into the American Midwest without being detected, encircled, and compelled to pay tribute, lest they face utter annihilation. Furthermore, not a single trace of European artifacts, tools, weapons, or jewelry has ever been unearthed in these prehistoric sites. The mysterious inscribed stones, sometimes attributed to Vikings, are actually ancient writing systems, and their origins largely stem from misinterpretations or elaborate hoaxes concocted in the late 1800s, when imagination often outweighed scientific evidence. Ancient America possessed a robust, self-generated power, an indigenous intellect that developed independently. This is the epic saga of the native peoples of this land. They needed no borrowed wisdom or power from any foreign entity to construct a brilliant civilization. Such a grand empire, with a trade network stretching from the frigid north to the warm southern coasts, where precious goods were exchanged, eventually met its end around 1450 CE. What could possibly fell a center of power with no military rivals? A mighty empire. Their enemy did not come from without, not from invading armies, but from the heavens, from nature itself. Severe climate shifts, decades-long cycles of devastating droughts, scorched crops, turned fertile lands into barren deserts, bringing famine and disease, as the colossal chieftains and powerful shamans secluded themselves in their sacred temples, praying ceaselessly but unable to conjure rain. The faith of millions shattered. They realized their leaders had failed to communicate with the divine, failed to ensure the survival of the community. People gradually turned their backs, packed their belongings, and quietly abandoned the centers of power, seeking new promised lands. There were no bloody battles, no brutal invasions. The grand system simply withered and collapsed from within, from the lost faith of its people. Standing on the windswept plains of Spiro today, beneath Oklahoma's vast and serene sky, I invite you to close your eyes and immerse yourselves in this moment. Can you feel the echoing footsteps of thousands of ancient peoples journeying here, bearing hope and unwavering faith? Can you visualize the sacred fire blazing atop Brown Mound on a cold winter solstice night, illuminating reverent faces? Beneath that green grass lies not just inert earth and stone. It is the blood, the tears, the ironclad belief, and the utter despair of flesh and blood people, human beings just like us, who once lived, once hoped, and ultimately fell. From a personal perspective, I contend that Spiro's greatest tragedy lies not in the collapse of a magnificent empire due to drought, nor in the theft and disappearance of invaluable giant skeletons. The true tragedy is the forgetting, the indifference, our failure to preserve. We once, driven by immediate hunger, used dynamite to obliterate our ancestors' heritage, forever losing the chance to fully understand our origins, a profound part of this land's great history. The story of those giant kings, slowly dying from illness, or of an empire dissolving due to lost faith in nature, serves as the most authentic, most brutal mirror reflecting our own future. The pride of any civilization can be broken, torn asunder, if we recklessly ravage nature, turn our backs on core ethical values, and forget the lessons of the past. The fragments of Spiro, the whispers of history, still lie hidden beneath the soil. We cannot turn back time to rescue the lost jade effigy or the magnificent skeletal remains, but we have the power to choose how we remember them, how we learn from those tragedies, and how we transmit this history to future generations so they do not repeat our mistakes. If today's poignant narrative has touched your heart or offered an entirely new perspective on America's grand history, please share this article with your family, friends, and succeeding generations. Let the legacy of the giants at Spiro continue to live in our memories, to be retold and cherished, rather than sinking into eternal oblivion. Don't forget to subscribe to join me as we uncover more fascinating and shocking hidden historical chapters in our upcoming journeys, exploring the untold corners of this world. Thank you for listening so completely.